In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Nikola Jokic and how you can play just like him. If you are looking to become a triple-double player and you're playing the center position, these are the tips that you are going to need if you want to make the NBA. Let's get down and let's check out Nikola Jokic and his most recent triple-double that he had in the playoffs. Really quickly, if you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away, make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below. But also, if you like the idea of me writing on top of this video, the app is called CoachLens, and it's down in the description below as well. And the link down there will get you 10% off. Okay, so a lot of the times when you set that screen at the NBA level, they're going to be in drop coverage. When your man you're screening for attacks the rim, if there is no switch, then you need to pop out for that three-point shot. Of course, you need to be a good three-point shooter to be able to be willing, or at least have your coach be willing to allow you to take that three-point shot. Because remember, usually centers, at least historically, are not very good at shooting threes. Everyone needs to be able to shoot threes today, and this is what you need to be able to do. So check out my book down below. So now, in this case, he's setting that dribble handoff. Now, they are setting up to be able to drive. This guy's not in very strong help. They did get the initial switch, or at least somebody who's hedging so that this man doesn't have the direct line to the basket. So Nikola Jokic is then able to roll towards the basket. There is a wide open lane there. We have two guys on this side who are not necessarily playing fantastic defense. They're on their heels, which means that Jokic is going to have a wide open lane down the middle. He receives that bounce pass. He gets it up as fast as he can above his shoulders. This way it's harder for shorter guys to steal when it's down at his waist, and then he's able to finish right at the rim. Now, if he was just a little bit more athletic, that probably would have been a dunk. So now setting the off-ball screen, pin down type screen, when he's setting the screen, there is two options that this man is going to be able to use. He can then either go over the screen and use it, or he can deny the screen and attack the basket. You would deny the screen if this guy was playing a bit higher, and that way it would leave you the wide open lane to the basket. This would be a lob. It would be fantastic. The other option is if this man gets stuck on the screen, you go over top, and then it depends on what this defender is doing. If he goes underneath that screen, then you're going to be popping for the three. If he goes over top of the screen, then you cut in towards the basket. This man didn't use the screen, or at least didn't read the defense right. He tried to cut back, which then allowed Jokic to pop for that three. This was essentially a screen set on Anthony Davis, and then, which could have been totally drawn up. Who knows? I'm going to say this was 100% drawn up because Jokic sets a lot of off-ball screens and he's able to find a lot of players. So because of that, he was able to get himself a wide open three yet again. Remember, guys, you have to be able to shoot threes if you want to be an elite center. Again, he's setting a screen. Remember, guys, you're a center. Every single coach is going to be setting a 5-on-1 or a 5-on-2 screen. This is just because you want that switch. You want that mismatch on both of these players. That's why you see a lot of centers setting screens. This is important. You need to be a good screen setter. Now, when he is rolling towards the basket, we have somebody popping out. When he receives that pass, he's already looking. He's not looking to score right away. He's just looking at the court. He's trying to see where the defense is. The defense is all in front of him. He has a man popping out to the three-point line. What's the better option? Should he take the shot? Should he drive on four guys? No. He needs to pass that ball out. He does it quickly. And then he was able to get an assist by doing that. By being smart, by reading the defense, you're going to be a much better passer. Now, right here, Jokic gets the steal. He knocks Anthony Davis. He gets the ball. He dribbles right away. Now, this is not something that I always tell my players to do. I always say, you get that steal, you pass right away. But this is the NBA. He's a star player, so he can get away with it. So from there, he takes one dribble, almost two dribbles, and then he passes the ball down court. Would it have been a better pass on this side first, which would have shifted the defense this way? Who knows? It doesn't really necessarily matter because guess what? They continued to make passes all the way down court, and then they were able to get away with a nice alley-oop dunk. That was all led by Jokic's steal and lead pass. Now, I want to give you a massive tip. If you are a center going up the middle of the court and the ball is currently either on this sideline or this sideline, you need to do a rim run. You need to get to that rim. Now, this is fantastic transition offense by Jokic, because guess what? The man going up the sideline is going to draw that top defender, which then leaves the wide open lane to the basket for yourself. This allows him to take not even one dribble, takes 2 big steps, and then he's able to finish at the rim. Now, this is absolutely perfect. This is what every single player needs to do after a defensive rebound. It doesn't matter if you're a point guard. You get that defensive rebound, he's already looking down court before he even lands his feet. He looks down court right away, pass, down court, touchdown. Guess what? This is going to be a basket because it's one-on-one, and that's a very high-flying teammate. And let's not forget, this is 2024, but guess what? You still need to have a post game. But look at his post game. I really want to point this out because a lot of players make the mistake. A lot of players think they're Shaq, and Shaq was a different beast. He could take 3-4 dribbles to the paint, and there ain't nobody going to stop that guy. Jokic is the same. However, he takes, watch, 1 dribble, 2 dribbles. If he took any more than 2 dribbles, he would have came in to dig. He might have come in to dig. He probably would have come in to dig. Somebody would have dug on him, which means that he would have lost the ball. That quick shoulder fake towards the right creates the space. If I rewind just a second, I want you to watch Jokic's left arm on this side. His elbow comes out right there. That locks the shoulder of that defender behind him. That gives him the open lane to the basket. And he was able to then finish with that floater right up the middle. So you still need a post game. Of course, this is the high post going into that low post area, but 2 dribbles. You don't want to take any more than 2 dribbles when you are attacking the basket inside the 3-point line. This is a massive skill and tip to have in your arsenal. Now watch this. Bangs Hachimura once, bangs him a second time, and then turns. At this time, he's looking to shoot. It really is going to come down to what his man is doing and what these other guys are going to do if they're going to try and dig on Jokic. They don't try to dig. He goes for a shot fake. He doesn't get the guy to jump. He pivots around. Remember, you are allowed unlimited pivots as long as you don't lift that foot. He then pivots once again, but this time he locks the defender. This is a massive tip. I mentioned it earlier just 2 seconds ago, but this is a tip that you need to have. After he pivots around, right there, that elbow right there, locking that man behind him is extremely important because that is what gives Jokic the lane, an open shot essentially to Jokic to be able to make. If it wasn't for that elbow, he would have never had the chance. This elbow is so important right after he makes this shot fake, and then he turns back around and he uses that elbow right there to be able to lock him. That is so important that it's every post player needs to be able to learn how to do that. Also, passing out of the post. We have to remember that this area gives you a different vantage point of the court because now you've got players who are turning their heads, losing vision of who they are guarding out on the perimeter because now they're looking at you and you are looking out there, which means that these players can move without them knowing, and it creates open shots. That's exactly what we see right here, especially when players try to dig on Jokic. That is the biggest mistake. If you are a center and you see somebody trying to dig on you, you need to be able to get rid of that ball as fast as possible. You're going to get assists, but now here he could have taken that 3, I'm not going to lie, but Jokic gets that ball back. The man cuts because now this man is going to dig and try and double team Jokic in the post, which is always generally a mistake in my opinion because that just leaves players wide open for mid-range or 3-point shots. It leaves players open for a lot of options. So by being able to shoot the ball, pass the ball, and get rebounds is very important to his game, but he gets those assists because he passes out of the post or he passes quickly out of the high post. He's able to get those assists because when he gets those defensive rebounds, he bombs it down court. He's looking down court first before he takes a dribble, which is insanely important. And then, of course, being able to shoot and stretch the defense is extremely important too. I love it when I go to a shorter lineup as a coach and I start running other teams' bigger, slower centers. We had a guy in U12 who was maybe, I would say, 140 pounds, which is heavy for a little kid, and quite tall as well. And I put on a kid who was maybe 80 pounds who was just as tall. and ran him off of some staggered screens, he was open for open threes all game long. He was driving. He had open lanes to the basket. So just by being able to move off ball as well is extremely important. And if you can be athletic and have the ability that Jokic has, you're going to be a fantastic player. I hope that this video has helped you. Hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys again next time.